Hello everybody. This video is meant to accompany the Word document that I just sent out in Slack here at 11 o'clock today on July 31st. So basically I'm just going to explain this document. Is the contracting process that was released. So I'm going to explain through here, so please do not jump to any rash decisions before at least listening to this and talking to me about any questions that you have regarding this. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm stating that we are going to need shifts, AM, PM, and night shifts. And the shifts will run from 7 to 3 for the A's. For the AM shift, PM shift will be 3 to 11. Night shift will be 11 to 7. That is Saturday through Sunday. There's no 12-hour shifts on the weekends. They would be 8 hours across the board, all 7 days of the week. So then you're going to ask me, well, what about huddle and 3 to 3:30, 7 to 7:30, 11 to 11:30? The goal is to get that completed in the shortest amount of time possible. So if we can get that done in 5 minutes, perfect. So we want to make sure that people can get on their way and go when done and be efficient. So that is the goal with this. But that, of course, that is dependent upon the next shift coming in too. So Saturday and Sunday shifts are once every third weekend. So we're going to be putting blocks together that will be once every third weekend. Once you sign the contract, that's what that will be until you either end the contract, which you can do on your own too, or apply for a new contract, and that's how that process will work. So I'm working on putting together a block schedule, but the first thing I need to know is everybody's availability. The purpose for this is that I can kind of pseudo-tailor a block that will fit for you. I want to make this work with everybody that we currently have. I ran the numbers, and we have the right amount of staff to do this process right now if everybody's on board. If there's people that are not on board with this, that's okay. I mean, that it is what it is. But then I will need to start looking for specific people to fill those shifts, those blocks, those contracts. So that's how this process will work. So, but what I need is everybody's availability. Obviously, I know the historical people that have been with us for quite a while. I know your availability, but some of the newer people, I need to know your availability. That this pertains to, let me look at my list. Shiloh, Heather, Tammy, Christy, Shiloh, or Rhonda, Steph, Diana, Marcy, Jody, Michelle, Lacey, Steph Bauer, Joanne, Leah. We need to know all your guys' availability. I can't assume that you want PM shifts when you really want AM shifts, or I can't assume that you want AM shifts when you really want PM shifts, and I can't assume that you want AM shifts when you might want night shifts. So I need to know your availability. This is not preferred scheduling. This is what you're available to work. So that's I mean, if everybody had a preference, obviously everybody would prefer to work 7 to 3, but we do not have that. We don't have enough block contracts for everybody to work 7 to 3. So please take that into consideration as well. So there's gonna be a process for this. This is gonna be a long video, so make sure that you're sitting down, because I want to make sure that we are clear, and that you have the availability to come to me with any questions. I don't want anybody to have to quit because of you're scared of how this will turn out. This is going to turn out better for everybody, including myself. This is going to turn out better for every single person involved because it's going to establish a system that will be followed from here, not from here on out, but from a set point. My goal right now is October 1st. So we want to get this implemented by October 1st. So that means that our current process will not change between now and any sooner than October 1st. So if you're telling me, I can't, if you're not scheduled to work weekends now, and I can't work weekends because I got this on September 20th, that's okay. That's okay. Nothing will change between now and at the earliest October 1st. If we have to push this back because of process things that are taking longer than expected, then fine, we will have to push it back. But the goal right now is October 1st, and so that's don't concern yourself too much with anything before that. The current process will still be in place until October 1st at the latest, or at the earliest. I mean, so but please, in a message, I need to know 5 things right now. I need to know your AM availability. That means yes, no, some. Or yes and no. Yeah, let's just do yes and no. PM availability, PM shift availabilities, 3 to 11. Yes or no. Night shift availability, yes or no. On call, I know this isn't on here, but when you say that you're available for nights, that would also include an on call, and we'll talk about that process. So, then we also need to know your weekend availability, yes or no. If you're no, that's okay. We just won't be able to get you a contract. Every contract will have every third weekend. Just a second here, I gotta close the door. Alex was playing Let Me Hear Your Hands Clap or whatever that song is. So every contracted block will contain every third weekend, okay? No more, no less, okay? These are 8-hour shifts. So if you're a AM block, it would be every third weekend, 7 to 3, Saturday and Sunday. If you're a PM block, 3 to 11, every third weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Night shift, same thing. So yeah, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. Every third weekend and 8-hour shifts is not too bad. That is really not too bad in the healthcare industry. So, but like I said, if you're unavailable for weekends, we cannot guarantee we can't get you a block, and we cannot get you guaranteed hours. So, and then the 5th question that I need is I need to know your preferred FTE, full-time equivalent. So based on a 40-hour work week, 1 FTE is equal to 40 hours. 0.7 is equal to 28 hours a week, and 0.5 is equal to 20 hours a week. 0.1 would just be once every third weekend. You know, it's a good way that this will augment your hours if you're home care. So, you know, I'm speaking directly to the people that also do home care. I'm talking Tammy, Heather, Shiloh, trying to think who else off the top of my head. Steph Bauer. I need to know your status update on this. Diana, Steph Holland, Christy Olson. I need to know this can be a benefit for you. And you know, I don't know, some of those I don't know if you're doing home care or not yet, but what this can do is this can augment your hours in home care. So say if you sign a contract for 0.3 FTE, which would be every third weekend and a day during the week, that would be 0.3, 1 day during the week and every other weekend. That would then augment your hours so that you could have your home care hours based on that, you know, on top of that, and it might get you closer to your desired amount of hours. But if you don't sign a contract for right now, what that would do is I can't guarantee you the enough home care hours to make you happy. I just can't. So what this will do is it'll at least get you a step, guaranteed hours there. And then anything else on top of that, you know, you can add home care hours. Because what we've learned is there's hospitalizations. We can't do home care if somebody's in the hospital. We just can't. So we can't guarantee you 40 hours or 32 hours or 30 or 20 hours based on home care. We just can't. So we need to know that. So then we need to know what you want. this is obviously what you guys want. This is gonna be a good thing for you. So I typed out a list here of examples of blocks. Now, these are very, very real examples. So, and if they look familiar, if they look like something that you've done before or would be you, possibly this would be you. So, so yeah, those are all examples of what a block would look like. Also, if one of these blocks is very close to what you want, what you can do is request a block modification. What that'll do is, if two people want to modify a block and they can have that relationship, fine. That just continues indefinitely until either one person discontinues that modification, or they leave their position, or they go on LOA, or anything like that. So, so that's how block modifications would work. Minimum staffing level. So this part of the diagram here is going to say the minimum staffing level that I am proposing, meaning that we need 2 people on weekend A and P, 1 person night A and P, and 1 person on call night A and P. That would also then be 3 people on during the week on A shift. P shift would be 2 people on at night during the week, and the same thing on night, 1 person night shift and 1 person on call night shift. The goal is also to have a second person available at all times at night. We need backup for our night staff. We've learned that, and please, that's the nice. We want to make this a benefit for everybody. So there will be on-call pay for people that are available to the night shift, that can be available on call. You can sleep. You can be at home. You can get paid to sleep. You won't get paid the same amount. You won't get paid the same rate as your regular hourly pay, and it won't contribute towards overtime. But if and when you're called in, then you would be able to punch in, get to work, and be at your regular hour of your appropriate rate. So that's what night on call would pertain to. So we need to get that. I can't just be the night backup anymore. I just can't. I can still be on call. I am still going to be the on-call RN, but that does not mean that I'm going to cover the floor indefinitely 365 days a week. That's what this process is to prevent. So, the purpose of doing this is to create a contract with staff that guarantees safe staffing. It is our priority for safe staffing. Without a system like this in place, we will continue in anarchy, and this system process is needed. It is gravely needed. It really is. What this will also do is it'll create deadlines for PTO requests. It'll create deadlines for schedules to be released, and it will create deadlines for open shifts to be posted and deadlines for open shifts to be picked up. So everything will have a process and a schedule. Obviously, you can look ahead and see what your schedule will be off into the future, and then you can request those days off, and then what we can do is those will go available for people to pick up, and then so there's going to be a process. This will also, schedules will be released 6 weeks at a time. So that means we will release 2 3-week blocks, boom, simultaneously every 6 weeks. So everybody will have the opportunity to request time off appropriately based on their available PTO balance. So that's for PTO. If we don't have a current system for PTO, we really don't. We just pay out based on whatever anybody wants. And that's not the way PTO is meant to be. So this will establish a PTO process. There will also be limits established for the amount of PTO days that a person can request on weekends. This would get rid of the person that, not get rid of the person, but it would guardrail the person, so to speak, that, yeah, I got enough PTO hours to not work a weekend for the next 6 months. Okay? But that's not going to be allowed. So there'll be limits established for that. Time off requests beyond the established limits will require staff to find somebody else to work for them. That means that past the PTO deadline day, if something comes up that's not FMLA and is not as a designated medical leave, then you would have to request a switch. That's the way the real world works. This isn't just, I'm going to call Tyler and just tell him I can't come to work today. Sorry, that process is broken. It is broken beyond belief. And that's not the way we're going to be working going forward once this is established. So please, that process is broken. Okay? There'll also be a process for when staff call in sick. So staff call in sick, okay? They call somebody working on the floor. This isn't just call whoever they want to or send a Slack message or send a text message. This is call who's ever working the floor. Who's ever working the floor calls their supervisor and coordinates who's going to be called. Who's going to be called and who's going to get mandated, or not mandated, but who's going to get called first to find a solution. Maybe some people stay later. Maybe some people come earlier. That's where that process is then worked out. This is not just, I'm going to send Tyler a text message and he'll work for me. No. No. I'm sorry. That is broken, and we need to establish a process going forward that is consistent, fair, and right for me too. I love giving everybody the right to be able and the opportunity to not have to work when they don't want to and they don't need to and they have things come up. But I have a life too. And I have a wife and I have children that need my attention. And I cannot continue to just simply work every weekend just for the sake of this is my business. That's not how this is going to work going forward. This contract process is being put in place to fix that. And the current process is broken beyond belief. So, so yeah, there'll be a process for when you call in sick and who will be called. That process will be established. So obviously you're going to see the people that consistently can't make it to work. That's going to be still a headache on me and management. That'll still be a headache on us, but it'll also be a headache on everybody else too, because those people will be, say, weeded out, so to speak, but there'll be consequences within the organization for those people that do that, because staff will not be happy with them. That's just the fact of the matter. So step one of the process is I need to create blocks. But to do that, I need your availability, and I need your availability as soon as possible. That'll make this whole process go more smoothly if I know your availability. That means that if you are unavailable to work 3 to 11s and night shifts, okay, just put unavailable NMP. That's all you have to do. Weekends, available. A's, available. Preferred FTE, 4.0, 0.7, 0.5, whatever you want to put. Answer my 5 questions. We have 5 questions. AM availability, PM availability, night availability, weekend availability, and preferred FTE. 5 questions, okay? I need to know all 5 of those. So once I get your availability, I will create the blocks based on what I have for availability. According to my calculations, we have enough staff right now to fulfill all blocks, for me to create blocks to fill everything. Okay, that's good. Okay. Second thing I'll do is I'm going to release all the blocks. Every single block will be released so everybody can see them before anything happens. Before anybody agrees to any block, they will be released for everybody to see. That means that you will be able to see that this block was created kind of pseudo for this person. You will see that. Now, can somebody else pick that block? Absolutely, based on seniority, they can. They can, and that might happen. And I want to tell everybody that now, that might happen. I have to follow the process. I'm not going to cherry pick things for people. I can kind of pseudo create a block for somebody, but I can't do a dissatisfaction for everybody and break the process. So I have to follow the process. So step 2 is to release the blocks to everybody. So everybody will see them. Everybody will have a chance then to examine on their own what each block would impact them, or what the choice of each block would do. So third thing, okay, this is going to be a big one, is based on seniority, staff will be given the opportunity to choose their block or contract schedule. So what that means is, let me bring up, so currently, based on seniority, our list is Joanne, Michelle, Rhonda, Shiloh, Heather, Diana, Lacey, Tammy, Jody, Leah, Marcy, Christy Olson, Stephanie Bauer, Stephanie Holland, and then Marcella Simonson. Those are based on start dates. So each staff then, and I'm kind of pointing at my screen because I'm looking at my computer, but you'll be given the opportunity to choose your block based on your seniority. Okay? So, Joanne, you'll be on the clock. So, Joanne, Michelle, Rhonda, I mean, you guys are going to be, based on seniority, you will have first pick. That's just the fairest way that I know how to do this. I know fair is a carnival in the summer, but we also need to be fair. We need to be fair to everybody. So step 3 is staff will be given the opportunity to choose their blocks. Okay. Step 4, once everybody chooses their blocks, I will then examine the final product, and staff can submit any block modifications to me. That means that if Joanne and Rhonda, say Joanne says, you know what, on my weekend, I just want to work Sunday, and then like that next Sunday, I want to work that Sunday. So Joanne and Rhonda, so Joanne would work each Sunday and Rhonda would work each Saturday. Okay? We will examine that and approve that based on its validity and our availability to follow that. So those are types of modifications that we need to know. So that's where the importance of having this as a 3-week block then can get mixed matched based on each person's specific preferences. But you have to negotiate that with the 2 people that are doing the switching. And that would continue indefinitely until either one in person discontinues that modification. So if Joanne just says, no, sorry, I want out of that agreement, then it would just go right back to where it's supposed to be. Or if one person leaves their position, or if another person leaves that block and chooses a different block, then boom, boom, that first agreement would go back to base, and then they would choose the next one. So step 4 is to examine the product and request any block modifications. Then I'll examine what blocks need to be released for new hires. That means that we have a part-time block every 3rd weekend, P shift every 3rd weekend. So we have to then fill that spot. We have to fill that contract. So I cannot guarantee that every Monday A shift is going to be open for you if you're not contracted. I just can't. If you're contracted, yes, I can. If that's the contract that you sign, I guarantee that. But I cannot guarantee that if you don't sign a contract. So that's where this is important, and this is imperative, that this is for you, and this is a benefit for you. So then, like I said, I'll examine any new hire needs, any block needs from there. And then the new block will be implemented. My goal is October 1st. Now, obviously, I'm just throwing date out of October 1st. I don't know if that falls on a Sunday or not. I don't, but it's somewhere around there, October 1st-ish is the goal for this to be implemented. So that means if you're worried about your family reunion 3 weeks from now in August, it's okay. It's okay. Nothing will change between now and October 1st at the soonest. So will this be difficult for some? Yes. Yes, it will. But that's where, communicate to me. If you're having concerns, communicate to me or Kathy, and we can, preferably both of us, preferably everybody, so that we can then work out a situation that will benefit you. Now, I'm not going to cherry pick things. We're going to have tough conversations that that will benefit everybody as a whole. So this will benefit us for when we hire new staff, that this will give us the opportunity then to say, okay, somebody applied, and what are they applying for? They're going to apply for every third weekend and Monday, Friday, or every third weekend and Monday, Thursday, and every third weekend and A shift Mondays only. I mean, maybe that's what the block is. So, but we can then make that available to new hires based on what we have available, instead of just picking and choosing what people want. That isn't going to continue. That system is broken. So we have learned that. This system is exactly mirrored like the union contract that I had at Thief River at the hospital. So this is a negotiated contract for Minnesota Nurses Association. So this is a good thing. This is nurses have fought for this amount of benefit in this system, and this is even better than that system, because that had 12-hour shifts every third weekend. Every third weekend, 12-hour shifts, and it was actually a 6-week block, and the weekend shifts some days would be A's, and some weeks would be P's, and some they'd be rotating. These will be, boom, this is what it is. But it's those are rotating, so that means I had to do I had to do a weekend shift on nights every sixth week, and I had to do a weekend shift on days every sixth week. That was just the way it worked. So this is even better than that. These are 8-hour shifts, Saturday and Sunday. This isn't that bad, really. Other benefits that will come from this, we're going to be able to establish pay rates. So the contracts will be established pay rates. So what that means is we'll be able to put together a system then that you know that your rate of pay is going to increase incrementally every year as you stay within the organization. We need that, okay? We need that to stay competitive and to keep you. We also need that, what we'll probably end up having to do is lower the ceiling for the new people. And then they're going to have to work their way up. But when that happens, whatever, based on either your current rate, or the rate that's established in the system, the higher one will win out. So don't be afraid that says, oh, geez, I was hired at this. If you're hired at that, I will fulfill that. So if the system in place gives you a lower rate than what is currently established between us as a whole, then I will honor that. So the next thing is yearly basis. So there's going to be main contracting. So what I want people to do is, as you start kind of getting through this process and learning how this is going to work, maybe you designate a couple people that you really trust, that know what this will do, and can see the big picture long-term wise, and help negotiate things for you guys as a whole, assisted living aides as a whole. So that's maybe that's something that you can do, and treat them as your union rep. I'm absolutely open to that. Absolutely. So I would prefer that, really. I really would. So other things, will this be perfect? No, this will not be perfect, but we will work through the kinks as they come across. But any system is better than the system that we have now, because we have no system. So If anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. Okay, so I'm just kind of going through some of my notes here so that I didn't skip anything. I feel like I missed something. On call, night on call. Please put in the availability if you're able to do nights at all on call, because that is important. We want to make sure to do that. What else am I missing? There's something else I'm missing. Okay, I can't remember. There was something. Going through my notes, but okay. Well, thank you, everybody. I know this is a long. This is already at 30 minutes, so I realize that this has gone for quite a while, but I want and I need this system to be in place. You need this system to be in place. This will be a benefit for you. Short notice pay. That's what I want to talk about. So short notice and weekend bonus. So when it is not your designated weekend to work and you work, you would receive a bonus. Perfect. So that would be on top of your regular pay. So I don't want to throw out a number right now because I don't want to lowball it and I don't want to highball it, but I have to run some numbers. But say if you're set to work every third weekend and you work a Saturday that's not your weekend to work, you would receive a bonus on top of your regular pay. Same thing with short notice. If somebody called in sick, so somebody called in sick this morning, which they actually did, okay? I got the call at 6. If somebody came into work and it was not their scheduled day to work within 24 hours of their scheduled day to, so say yesterday somebody called in sick for today, okay? We could find somebody to work and they would get short notice pay for this evening. So that's where that would work. So it'd just be a bonus on top of their regular pay. It's gonna be more than 25 cents. Don't worry. It'll be a good amount. But I also need to keep in mind the profitability of the company too, because ultimately we have to be profitable to maintain the business. That's what business is. We are not nonprofit. We need to be profitable, and I also can't bankrupt us either. So, but I also know that we need to do things that are right for you guys too. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to shoot me a message. Preferably, if it's a message that everybody can benefit from, I want you to make it available to the general, in the general channel on Slack, because then everybody can see it. That means that, because if you're having that question, chances are somebody else is having that question too. And I don't want to have to answer the same thing 15 times. So please put that on Slack. You can put your availability, send that directly to me and Kathy. But you don't have to send that to the general everybody. But any questions, please put that so everybody can see. Thank you very much and have a great day. And I truly, really do care about each and every one of you. You are members of my family, and I truly do mean that. And I really want the best for you, because when you're doing good, I'm doing good. And when you're not doing good, it's bad for me too. So I want to make things fair and right for everybody. So thank you very much and have a great day.